grew up in the 1940s in Southern California. Her name was Barbara. She went camping one weekend in the desert. She and her friends, they were teenagers, they wanted to explore, they were being adventuresome, and they were near a mine. So they went in as far as they could go, and then they stopped. She noticed the opening to a room. She went into the room, and inside the room, she found this piece. She picked out what she said was the best of the bunch. There was a whole pile of Levi's that were in there. You can see on the back side that she needed to do a little patching because there's just a single pocket on the back side. It's one of the most important elements in helping us to date this. She brought them home, wore them to high school for a couple of years, and then she noticed something interesting on the inside pocket. This top symbol, which you may recognize, we now use it on the patch on our 501s. It's a 2-horse. It symbolized the strength of the pants. They were so strong. You'll see some stains on here that look like they might be paint, but they are most likely drips of wax would drip down, and that's likely what you're looking at. The front side of our 501 blue jeans has a button fly. That's what we had at the beginning, and we continue to use it on our 501s today. The copper rivets that help strengthen these pants are here as well. There's also our tiny little pocket. It was used to hold a watch, so we call it the watch pocket. Nowadays, most people will put coins or something small in there. No belt loops, that's why you had the cinch on the back, but there were buttons. These two here and on this side, and that's so that you could add suspenders. In 1938, we received an interesting letter that came here to Levi Strauss & Company from a Levi's fan and wearer who lived here in the San Francisco Bay Area. In his handwritten letter, he explains that in the back of his car, he always keeps a pair of Levi's jeans. So look at the fade on these. These were clearly a pair of 501s that have been used over and over again. You can see what the original blue color looks like. So clearly they were not only used, but they were worn repeatedly, maybe even washed because they're pretty faded. They have what we saw in the other pants. They've got a cinch, but these ones have been cut off. And you'll notice something that's different about these belt loops. Belt loops is something we introduced on our 501s in 1922 for the first time. He said he only had 2 little bits of rope in the back of his car. Here they are, and he used them to tow. He said he'd had the pants for 9 years before that. A mining area in southwestern Colorado. You'll see this interesting shadow on the front side, and you'll see that same interesting shadow on the back side, and that is likely the shadow of a pair of chaps that were worn over the pants. And that would have been typical perhaps of somebody who was working with fire, maybe a blacksmith who needed that extra protection of the leather on top. The little watch pocket that's here on the right side does not have rivets. Rivets were removed during the war by the company as a measure to save metal and other materials during the war. Copper rivet at the base of the button fly. It was also a way to save on metal, but there had also been complaints by some of our customers that if you got down near a fire, it would heat up in a very sensitive area. It actually happened to one of our executives in the Haas family, and so the rivet was removed and it never came back. Being consistent in our use of it, being able to know the context helps to inform what the new pieces are going to be like, and always be rooted in the foundation and the stories and the products that we came from originally.